There's no denying, we've all watched animated films as kids. Animated films have always been a medium used as entertainment for children. And why not? Animation does have a much more friendly, upbeat attraction that we can't always get in a live action setting. Think back to all the films you used to watch as a kid. Odds are the majority of them are animated. But for some, many seem to think of animated films as kid stuff, almost like a lesser form of art. And to those people I say, you're all narrow-minded idiots. In fact, I'd make the argument that animation is the highest and purest form of cinematic art. And it's time to show all you adults who had their inner child crawl up their butt and die a thing or two about the magic of animation. For starters, you can do a lot more in animation than you can in live action. With live action, you are limited to what you can put in front of the camera. Sure, CGI has helped a bit, but you're still limited by the actors you choose, the sets you build, and the anesthetics of the universe you have to follow. Unless we find a way to genetically engineer the perfect actor for each individual role, the director's vision is never going to be on screen 100%. Animation is different. With animation, you can distort features, build entire humans and places from scratch. The director's complete vision is put on screen. Everything, down to the slightest movement, to the littlest facial twitch, was put there on purpose. Even style in an animated film is put there on purpose. Guardians of the Galaxy is a great film, but James Gunn is still limited when it comes to designing Rocket Raccoon because Rocket has to look like a real raccoon in order to fit into this universe. If Guardians of the Galaxy was completely animated, Rocket Raccoon could still look like a raccoon, but certain features could be exaggerated, so James Gunn's style could be put on screen. If he wants the film to look realistic, he can design the characters to look realistic, like those Batman video game trailers. Or he can do the opposite and make the characters look wacky and over-exaggerated. It's completely his choice. Look at Brad Bird. He has a very distinct animated style, but his live-action movies, well, they just look like a lot of other live-action movies. A good animated film also utilizes filmmaking tools a lot of great live-action films would overlook. Me personally, I find animated directors are a lot more conscious of things like color or lighting. Mostly because, once again, they have to build it from scratch. Live-action films do it too, don't get me wrong. But animated films do it so much more because literally every frame is a painting the creators have crafted, not a photograph a creator has taken. Look at this scene from Up. In the director's commentary, they mention that the dinner scene was a way to use the candle lighting to express and suddenly change the audience perception of our antagonists. At the start of the scene, the lighting is elegant and fancy. It's welcoming and warm, just like Muntz. But when our villain's obsession is revealed, the slightest act of removing the fancy violin music changes the entire scene. Suddenly, that exact same lighting becomes menacing and sinister. The directors did that on purpose, whereas live action, it's a lot more difficult to know what the director was intending and what was just happenstance. So saying animated films are a lesser art form is just plain wrong. It's just as valid, if not more so, than any other form of cinema. But what about those who say that animation is just for kids? That animation can't be appealing to adults? Well, that's also not true. There are plenty of animated films out there for adults. Sausage Party, Persepolis, Fritz the Cat, and Watership Down, just to name a few. Also, on a side note, anybody who says that Watership Down is a family film, here's the number for a good psychiatrist. I hear he does great work. Although, I'd be lying if I said I didn't understand why a lot of people seem to think this. There is this stigma amongst mass audiences that if it's animated, it's safe for children. For example, I have a friend who works at a local movie theater, and when Sausage Party came out, he said that 2 or 3 adults daily would ask for tickets to go see Sausage Party with their kids. 2 or 3 adults daily to go see a film with their kids with a giant friggin' orgy scene. Wow. And yet, honestly, I can't blame them. Mostly because 90% of animated films are made to be family friendly. That's not to say these films can't be dark or scary. Heck, the majority of many Disney films we watched as kids scared the living crap out of us. Remember this scene?
Oh, I've been double-crossed! Help! Help! Somebody help! I've been framed! Help! Please, you gotta help me! Oh, be a pal! Call that beetle! Call anybody! Mama!
Yeah, Disney, the home of dreams, was also responsible for a lot of our fucking nightmares. But these films never got too bloody or too violent with its content. Thus, children could watch it just fine. So, people automatically see animated and think every film falls into that safe zone. Even Hollywood itself never thought Sausage Party would make its money back, because even they think that only animated films targeted towards families can make money, which is a shame, because there are some seriously missed opportunities when it comes to the animation art form. Imagine an adaptation of Jeff Smith's Bone, but treated with the same care and attention as Lord of the Rings. No pop songs or bright colorful images throughout. When it gets dark and violent, let it get dark and violent. Imagine a Batman film done completely in the style of those trailers for the video games. Realistic, but also stylized enough that you could make a Batman that doesn't look like Christian Bale or Ben Affleck. When you see Bruce Wayne, all you see is Bruce Wayne. Animation is an art form. The chance for directors to completely control every aspect of what is shown on screen. We need more films that are willing to push the boundary of what animation can do. Like Sausage Party. We need to end the stigma that animation is for kids, because it's not. There are plenty of good things animation can do for adults as well, and I think it's time to open our eyes and explore those possibilities. Who knows? Maybe something revolutionary and phenomenal could come out of it.